This is Kelso Sturgeon. Welcome to a very important day at my College of Advanced Sports Handicapping. We're going to talk a lot about many things today, but mostly about the bowl games, which begin on Saturday. 35 of them. I'm going to have selections in every single one. The 3 games Saturday, kicking things off with a 50-unit play on one game, and the other 2 games will be rated anywhere from 10 to 25 units. The bowl package that I'm offering runs right through the BCS Championship game in New Orleans, LSU and Alabama. I will be releasing a 250-unit play on that game. Very strong feelings on the side, very strong feelings on the total, and intend to break the bank on the final day of the bowl season. It's also very important that I note, so you understand, I come prepared to win the bowl games. In the early games last season, 13-2, absolutely knockout record. People made a small fortune. Now, keep in mind, I release every single bowl game, all 35 of them. They'll be rated 5, 10, 15, 25, 50, 100 units. In fact, I think I've got 5 100-unit games on the schedule. Now you can get the entire bowl package for just $150 and start winning this Saturday. You can sign up on this website, toll free at 1-800-755-2255. All major credit cards accepted. Remember, the College Bowl season begins Saturday with a 50-unit play, closes out January the 9th with a 250-unit play on LSU and Alabama. And by the way, if you're a trivia buff, you might be interested to know that a single seat, a single ticket for the LSU-Alabama game is selling right now for almost $1,900. One seat. I'll watch it on television, thank you. Good game, but $1,900 for a poor man? I don't think so. Now, there's a lot of things that are on the radar right now, and I want to touch on just some of them. You know, the NFL is definitely showdown time. I mean, it's time for these teams to stand up and be counted or go home. And there are only 3 teams, believe it or not, who've qualified for the playoffs right now. They're all in the NFC, and that would be Green Bay, San Francisco, and the New Orleans Saints. Not a single team has mathematically qualified yet for any spot in the AFC playoffs. Now, I'm releasing a 50-unit play on tonight's Jacksonville at Atlanta game. Atlanta still battling to get into the playoffs. Probably will get there, but I mean, there's a team that has to show up to play. And the one thing that when I was handicapping this game this morning, I reminded myself that teams that have to win don't have to do anything. So don't bet a team just because you think it has to win. Simple as that, and certainly no team has to cover. You've got to pick the edges that put you on the right side. Now, you know, I'm sitting here today getting ready to start what I think is a dynamite week in football. I just would like to remind you of last weekend and what happened. It was a dynamite weekend. On Saturday, won a 50-unit play on Army with its cover over Navy. Also on that same day, I did something I've never done before in more than 40 years of handicapping. I went against the number 1 and number 2 teams in the college basketball rankings, and I beat them both with underdogs. Indiana knocked off Kentucky by a single point, and Kansas buried second-ranked Ohio State. Never done it again. I mean, never done it before. Maybe never do it again, but on the same Saturday, I beat the number 1 and number 2 ranked college basketball teams in the country straight up. And I'll have to take my bows for that, pardon me. Last Sunday, I won my 100-unit triple power play with the San Diego Chargers, a 37-10 win over Buffalo. People say, why in this spot did you go for the 100 units? Anytime you can put a quarterback like Phil Rivers with a good arm facing a team that has no pass rush, the win's almost automatic, and it did just about fall this way. Also, on this past Sunday, got the win with my 50-unit upset game of the month with the New York Giants, who came from behind and knocked off the gutless Dallas Cowboys 37-34 in a game the Cowboys should have won by a country mile. Also, I must note that my Best Bets basketball club on a 16-6 run over the past 12 days. The winning continues. Now, I want to touch briefly on the NBA. You know, the NBA begins on Christmas Day, a week from Sunday. I don't know how these teams can start to play at that time. They have to be in terrible condition. You know, as I sit here today on Thursday and discuss the NBA, there is not one single team in the NBA that's signed all of its players yet. There's players jockeying to use their free agency positions to go to other teams, and some of these teams don't even have enough players to go 5-on-5 in a practice. Makes you kind of wonder how they can be ready on Christmas Day. I'm going to tread very lightly. I will start the NBA selections on Christmas Day, but we'll tread very, very lightly for the first week of the season until I see where everything stands. But right now the NBA is in complete chaos, and the opening of the season 1 week from Sunday. You know, my week starts tonight with that 50-unit play on the Jacksonville at Atlanta game, and I intend to keep right on rolling. On Saturday, that 50-unit play in the bowl games, I intend to get the cash. Remind you again that I opened the bowl season last year on a 13-2 run. Intend to do exactly the same this year, maybe even better. Who knows? But here are the three games on Saturday. We have the New Mexico Bowl. That's Temple versus Wyoming. The Idaho Potato Bowl. From Boise, Idaho. Utah State versus Ohio University, and then last but not least from the New Orleans Superdome, the LA Lafayette versus San Diego State game. I think all the games are quite playable and quite winnable. These teams have striking similarities and almost the same records, and have met the same quality of teams. You just got to study for the little edges that win here, and I intend to do that. Now, I just made some notes on what you've got to look for in these bowl games. You know, first of all, there's not going to be any question that LSU and Alabama are going to come to play. They will absolutely be fine-tuned to the razor's edge. They will take their best shot. So we don't need to worry about them. That's not necessarily the case in a lot of these other games. You've got very mediocre teams. Seems like Marshall, for instance, that qualified on the last day of the game to even be bowl eligible. We've got teams that should not even be in the postseason, but who knows how they'll come to play. But here's some things you can look for on the intent of a team and on the intent of a coach. You know, a team and a coach signals its intent by where the team stays. You know, a lot of teams stay right in the middle of town so they can easily take advantage of all the festivities. Others will be in the suburbs, away from all the hubbub, and the coaches will be controlling the coming and going of these players and restrict their activities, many of which they're obligated to participate in, but have nothing to do with the football game. They'll restrict as much as possible the players spending too much time partying. That's a serious football team. They'll also have early curfews. And by the way, you can find out all these things by simply reading your daily newspapers, hitting the internet, doing some research. It's a time to read, watch, and listen as far as the bowl games go. You know, you've also got to determine if the team that you're getting in the bowl game is the same team that you saw on the field during the regular season. Injuries have sent a lot of players to the sidelines who were key to their team's success in the regular season. Many of these teams will not have their regular college coaches who've already accepted other jobs and moved on. You know, it's a situation where you've just got to determine whether the team is coming to the bowl game with the intent of winning or just using it as a reward for a season well done. And, you know, I don't object to either one. But my big place will be on the teams that I know come and intend to win. There's one thing that you can know for sure, and I don't mean to offend the other conferences. Every single SEC team will come to win. That's just the way they play football in the SEC. They take great pride in every single game, and especially in bowl games against teams from other conferences. Once again, I said it's a time to read, to watch, and to listen and to get ready for a winning run in the bowl games. Now, last but not least, just remember that all my selections in football and basketball are available on this website and toll-free at 1-800-755-2255. Now, I'll be back here Saturday morning with a more complete rundown on the bowl games, some line updates that I think are very significant, and I look forward to speaking to you again at that time. Right now, let's just go get